Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakach Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and got this article from Natural News. It says Kamala says the quiet part out loud. Government oversight's needed to police the internet and rein in thought crimes. And so she's just doing what the elite want, and they do want to limit speech and thought as a whole. And even the reference of the title goes into a reference to the book 1984 with the thought police and basically the government doing all of the thinking for the citizens. And so that's something that we're looking at, this new world in which the elite want to enter into. But it's not going to happen because the Lord is going to stop and shut down all of that. And so getting into this article, it says the global crackdown on free speech continues unabated. And if you think it's relegated to countries like China, Cuba, and North Korea, think again. A Brazilian Supreme Court panel on Monday upheld a decision to suspend Elon Musk's social media platform X in the country. Then last Friday, Justice Alexandre de Moraes ordered the platform blocked. Since the decision, Musk and his supporters have tried to paint de Moraes as a renegade and an authoritarian censor of political speech, but Brazil is no outlier. The EU is also cracking down on free speech with its Online Service Act, and we have our own free speech haters here in the US. In fact, one of them is a candidate for president. So it starts going into Kamala right here. And yeah, we'll read this a little bit and then get into the scriptures. But it says Kamala Harris came out in 2019 and admitted in the wide open that she wants to see the same type of state-sponsored censorship implemented in the United States as what we now see taking shape in Brazil. The government, Harris believes, should have ultimate control over what you and I are allowed to post on the internet, as well as more control over what we are allowed to see and hear. She doesn't trust us to decide for ourselves as to the truth or accuracy of what we see or read online. And then there's a little video showing this, but yeah, the elite want to shut down the internet basically because so much truth comes out from there, and with the internet kind of being the wild wild west and not too many regulations on it, the elite have a hard time controlling the narrative and controlling the information that gets out into the public, which hurts their opportunities to deceive the public. So they want to shut it off. And the Lord, at the same time, he's been holding the gates of mercy open before the destruction comes, and he's ready to have the destruction come. And with that, the word gets shut off. And so it's really the Lord that's allowing, or that will allow, for the famine of the word, or otherwise, as this world would call it, policing of the internet and shutting it down. But the Lord wants that so that he could bring about a new world filled with order and righteousness. So this is Amos chapter 8 and verse 11. And it says, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And so the Lord will be executing this famine of the word. He's the one who's behind them policing the internet and maybe even eventually shutting it off altogether, because that the internet is the main place in which the truth comes out, the truth of the scriptures, the truth that's been passed on to us from the apostles and elders of the great millstone and all the way down. The Lord wants to shut that word off to get us to the next stage, because we're at that stage of fishing, but he said he's going to send for many hunters. And so there has to be a transition from the fishing to the hunting, and it will come in this way by stopping the fishing or the getting out of the word for the elect, because at some point the elect will be completely sealed, and then comes the destruction. Verse 12, and it says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh, and shall not find it. So these people are going to be in a restless state, wondering what is going on, and seeking for answers, but they're not going to be able to find it. And as it says in Isaiah 33 and 6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of thy salvation. And so actually having the truth of the matter within your hearts and minds will keep you stable in those times, and it's going to be what's needed to eventually obtain salvation. But these other people aren't going to have it, so they're going to be the opposite of stable and the opposite of saved. They're going to be completely in a completely chaotic state with minds that can't be calmed at all, because they're going to be seeing destruction all around them, all the way up to the point that they actually get destroyed, all without ever having the truth of the matter. But the Lord has woken up his elect, and Lord willing, we are part of that hopeful elect, of that elect to get out of here through this truth that he's given mostly through the internet. Some brothers were able to actually walk by the apostles and the other elders and different men with them on the street, but most of us got it from the internet, from the unicorn. And verse 13, it says, in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst, they that swear by the sin of Samaria, and say, thy power, O Dan, liveth, and the manner of Beersheba liveth, even they shall fall and never rise up again. But yeah, people are going to be seeking for the living waters, and it's not going to be found, because the Lord will have shut it off. And he's doing that through the elite and having them actually shut off the internet or police the internet, in which this word, this truth of the Lord will be the main opponent that they want shut off. And so that's something to look out for the famine of the word, for the policing of the internet, for the eventual shutdown of the internet, and also looking for salvation, because it's draweth nigh. But Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, or Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.